Okay, today we are going to make fresh baby bananas with our baby food grinder by Kidco. And if your baby is old enough to, like around, 8 to 10 months, they start eating a little bit chunkier food, you can actually just take your banana and stick it in a bowl and use a fork to mash it so it has those little chunky textures, but it's still smooth enough for them to eat. If they're younger than that, or if you still just want to use the food mill to finely grind it, just twist it off the top. And we're going to try to do this one-handed. And we're going to, I can't do it. What I'm trying to do is push this apart to get the plunger to go up. Maybe I can do it like this. We're going to pull it down, not out. And you see how it has that hole in there? We're going to take our banana and open it up. Maybe I can do like that. We're going to open up our banana and make sure it doesn't have any brown spots or yucky stuff that you wouldn't want to get into your baby food. And take out the little stringy things. I don't like those. So we're going to take a good chunk of it, about like that, and we're going to stick it down in our baby food mill. Maybe a little less. I thought all of that would fit. I'll take that much. And then place the lid back on in the grooves and twist it to lock it. And then what you do, we're making it up as we go. You're going to push it down gently and crank the handle as you go along. And you're going. Alright, keep on going until you go all the way to the bottom. And then I do a couple more cranks with hard pressure just for good measure to make sure you have it all. And then what you have is that nice thin food at the bottom. And it is very thin indeed. If it's a little thick for babies just starting out with foods, you might want to run it through a sieve, which looks like this, and this really helps to catch any big lumps, and pushing it through this thin screen really mashes it up nice. So you can run it through there, add a little bit of water or breast milk or formula to it to thin it out a little bit, and then you're ready to go, and it's ready to eat just like it is. Now we have our finished product, and it is pretty runny. It does have the little seeds in it, and if your baby is just starting off on eating, you might want to run it through a sieve, which looks like this. And because it's so thin mesh, it really helps to get out all the lumps and seeds and stuff in your baby food and make it very thin for them to eat. You can also add a little bit of breast milk or formula or water or juice to this to thin it out a little more. And because it is a banana, you want to eat it fresh because the oxygen will cause it to turn brown and it loses a little bit of its flavor. It's not so great after it's left out or refrigerated. It will do that anyways. I have taken juice before, his Juicy Juice apple juice. Let me see if I can grab it, because I believe the juice has citric acid in it. Let's see. I don't know if it does or not. I'm trying to look for it and I don't see it. It has ascorbic acid, and I think that helps to keep it from turning brown so quickly. So if you want to put a little bit of the juice in there and maybe freeze them, then that would be fine. But if you're refrigerating, they're going to turn brown. And I think that's about it. We're ready to eat. Yeah. And I got my finished product, and it's pretty thin. It's good enough for my son because he's older. And I put a little bit of apple juice in there because I think last time I made bananas I put it in there and it didn't turn brown. And I'm going to actually put them in my freezing trays and freeze them up. And these are also by Kidco, and these are great. And if you don't have to buy these special freezer trays, you can go to Walmart and pick up ice cube trays, and it'll do the same thing. Just put some saran wrap over the top to make sure you're not getting anything inside your food that you don't want in there. And yeah, So we're going to fill up our little pods. Try to see if we can get them nice and full, but not too full, because I like to do like banana and peach or another fruit like that for his breakfast or snacks. Whoop, that one's a little full. All right. That one's like a half of a pod. Okay, and then all we have to do is snap on, maybe, snap on our lid, and we'll put it in the freezer. And now I have a little tip of, if you don't have time to wash your food grinder, or, you know, I do this even if I do have time to wash it. I take a large bowl, if I can grab one. I get a large plastic bowl and I take apart my whole mechanism, because food particles like to actually travel up this tube. And if you don't know that, you might be giving your child bacteria by not cleaning it. So I take it all apart and I stick it inside a plastic bowl like that. And then I take this apart, but I can't do it with one hand. And I put soap and water in it. A little bit of soap in the bottom. My nice apple palm olive. We're just going to stick it in our sink with our other dirty dishes. And I run hot water in it. And let it soak to loosen up any gunk, and it just makes it so much easier to clean, because it's very hard to get down in that tube. So I run water through it and make sure it gets all nice and clean, and I gotta take that apart. And that's my last little tip for today. I did have one more little tip for you. If you find that you do have stuff in your tube and you can't get it out, it's not loosening up, go raid your kid's craft box or your craft box and get one of those little pipe cleaners and put some soap on it, and it'll go right in there and clean all that gunk out.